Today we'll be going over how to install the HISPEEDIDO IPSv2 upgrade kit with TV out options for the Gameboy Advance. A link to our written guide as well as all the required tools can be found in the description. This guide will assume that you have already disassembled the console. A tutorial for that will also be linked in the description. First, we will dry test the kit to ensure that the IPS screen is not damaged and works as intended. Connect the IPS panel to the control board, but be careful not to force the connector. Next, we will find the appropriate flex cable for your motherboard, either 40 pin or 32 pin, and connect it to the IPS control board with the metal contacts facing down in the connector. We recommend securing the control board down with a piece of double-sided tape. This will prevent the board from moving around too much and damaging the flex cable. Connect the other half of the flex cable to the connector on the bottom of the motherboard, with the metal contacts facing upwards. Place the console into the bottom half of the shell, fold the screen over, and insert batteries. From here, we'll power on the console for a successful dry test. Once we have tested the screen, it's time to move on to soldering the wires for the control board to the motherboard of the console itself. For this kit, we'll be using all 5 solder points on the control board. The wires will be connected as shown. Remember to use flux when soldering. This kit uses both shoulder buttons, select, as well as 2 pins on the link cable port for the video out. There is one resistor, EM3, that must be removed before the link port can output video. Please be aware that doing this will not allow you to use the link cable for their intended purpose anymore. Once the wires are soldered, it's time for one more test. Place the console into the bottom half of the shell and power it up one more time. If all goes well, then you can proceed on to final reassembly. Place the screen in the bottom right hand of the screen window. This kit shouldn't require any modifications of the OEM shell for the screen to fit. However, since mine was already modified, I will be using the bottom bracket to hold my screen in place. You may need to use both brackets if you have an IPS ready shell. We recommend placing the touch sensors in these areas to avoid accidental touches. However, they will still function when needed. Please note you will also need to replace the lens of the console to see the full screen, as it's roughly 1mm wider than the OEM screen. After reassembling the console, test the touchpads, buttons, and the TV out function. If all works, you are good to button up the console and game on. Thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe to check out more of our videos, and be sure to check out our ever-growing wiki, link in the description.